Godfathers is a loose and largely inaccurate description for two men, a couple as it turns out, that I've known all of my life. I use it for lack of a better word, not technically related, but far closer than any aunt, uncle, or grandparent ever could be, and supremely hip to the family gossip. I once confessed my misnomer to them as they chauffeured me around New England on college visits. How about fairy godfathers, Ed had joked at the time. Richard and Ed are family friends who have been close with my mother and grandparents since Mom was a little girl. As a child, they showered me in love and attention, they sent me letters on holidays, and they brought me books during their annual visits. When they came into town, they came together. When they left together. I never knew life without them, and I thought of them as nothing more or less than loving family members who I couldn't wait to see again. My realization came the summer I was 13 years old. Richard and Ed were staying with us, and everyone was sitting on the back porch of my family home. Mom, Dad, Richard, and Ed at the patio table with the big umbrella shielding them from the summer sun. Me, a few feet away on the shady back porch steps with my arms around the family dog. I looked at the four of them, their chairs arranged so that my parents and our guests were mirrored across the table, and for no particular reason, I recognized that I was staring at two couples. Oh my God, Richard and Ed are gay. I'd heard about these gay people, and suddenly here they were, sitting in my backyard and part of my family. I sat there on the steps, stunned into silence, as if I had just uncovered a deep family secret. I grew up in a home with good politics and common human decency, which is to say that my silence wasn't judgment or foreboding, but a mental pause to categorize the previously uncategorized, put a new label on people whose labels I thought I knew, insert an otherness. Maybe it was the problematic vernacular I heard flying around my middle school, or my crossing of the age threshold to be included in discussions of politics at the dinner table, or maybe it was all of those Will and Grace reruns. But somehow, my heteronormative worldview had cracked open just wide enough for me to comprehend that this pair of pseudo-relatives were in just as much of a romantic relationship as my aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, mom and dad. Even then, I felt stupid for not realizing sooner. I tried to nonchalantly mention my newfound fact to my mom a few days later. Richard and Ed are gay. Both a statement and a question. She furrowed her eyebrows, amused, before confirming, as if to say, "Duh, kid, water is wet." My cover was blown. After the rush of surprise came intense joy and relief. It was as if I had experienced the excitement of a new relationship and the satisfaction of witnessing years of happiness all in an instant. My fairy godfathers were in love and happy and would be always. Eventually, I joined them at the table in the sun, approaching slowly and acting normal so that no one might suspect my recent discovery. I watched Richard and Ed closely for the rest of the trip. They worked so seamlessly in tandem and gravitated around one another with the ease and stability of planets. Nothing new, but now obviously meaningful. My understanding of their connection did not shift. The constellation of loving relationships I aspired to merely grew. How odd it was to assign a word to something that I had always known.